A cancer diagnosis is life-changing. I know I cannot face this journey alone, and thankfully, I don't have to. It's the sense of community with the 365 Cancer Prevention Society that helps inspire strength. Here is where the connections are created. Getting through challenges, celebrating small wins. I walk this path with people who can help. My family is my biggest source of support, but they too gain strength from the support networks at 365 CPS. Whether that be nutritional or pharmaceutical advice tailored for me, health counseling and emotional support for when things feel heavy, or even help with finances. I never
365 Live on this beautiful Saturday morning. My name is Bev, and I'll be your host and moderator for today. 365 Cancer Prevention Society is a non-profit charity dedicated to safeguarding the community through proactive cancer prevention and holistic care for those it touches. Beyond raising awareness, we provide counseling, nutritional support, rehabilitation services, and survivorship care to support individuals and families throughout their cancer journey. Recognizing that younger patients often face unique challenges, we also extend specialized support through Strong Olive, our support community for young adult cancer patients and survivors. Today, we are having a special conversation on cancer survivorship. When people hear the word cancer, we often think about diagnosis, treatments, hospital visits, and survival statistics. But life after cancer is so much more than that. It is about relationships, identity, confidence, work, family, dreams, and all the little moments in between. And while cancer may affect people at different life stages, many of the emotions underneath can feel surprisingly similar. So today isn't really about comparing who had it harder. It is about listening and understanding. And hopefully, it's about discovering that beneath all our different experiences, there is far more that connects us than separates us. Joining us today are three incredible survivors, Linda, Eddie, and Anne, who have generously agreed to share their stories with us. Thank you all for being here. Right? So now I'm going to get Linda to say hi to the camera.
Hi, everyone. My name is Linda Ling. I'm a two-time breast cancer survivor.
Eddie?
Hi, I'm Eddie Low, and I was diagnosed in 2017 at the age of 59 years old with three primary cancers: the lungs, liver, and prostate cancers.
Anne?
So hi everyone, I'm Anne, 25 this year, and I was just diagnosed with leukemia last year. So it's been a year-long journey of treatment for me.
Thank you all for sharing. Right. Before we jump into the conversation that we're going to have today, right, let's get to know everyone a little better. So let's start with something fun, shall we? Right? So how would you describe yourself would be the first question. I'm going to post it to Anne first, and then we'll come down later. Right? So Anne, how would you describe yourself?
I think I'm someone that's really interested in like arts and music. So
Right.
like, I really like reading and writing. And recently I've been really into musicals.
Into musical, yeah? What kind of musical are you
Like
playing?
Hamilton.
Wow.
Hamilton. And I've also been watching local musicals recently as well.
Okay. Thank you for supporting the local
Yes.
setting. Right. So Linda, yourself.
Yes, I'm an outgoing person, happy and bubbly, and I love traveling. I love taking photography and videography.
Right. So
Yes.
name one country that, left the most impactful memory.
Italy would be one of them,
Right.
because of history and culture.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I love the world.
Right.
So I've yet to see many, many more places like Eastern Europe, South America, India,
Okay. I'm really
Japan, and Taiwan. I have not been since it's so close as well. But anyway, it's good to be alive, to be exploring.
Of course. More to come, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Eddie, yourself.
I'm more of a serious kind of person, but I do enjoy company, and I do mix around in that sense. And more on serious topics, about life, about building strong family environment and things like that. But my favorite, of course, is watching football. And,
Right.
I enjoy watching the game, and in fact, my first bucket list on that was to go to my favorite club, Anfield, to watch the football.
Right. And of course, I'm inclined to ask you. So, what's your favorite football club?
It's Liverpool,
Right.
because you never walk alone.
Of course. So, I love that what we have shared. Right. So, before we talk about cancer survivorship, we often reminded that cancer is only one chapter. Right, in our story, right? So let's talk about the life that existed before the chapter even began, right? So, Linda, take us back to life before your diagnosis. What did a typical week look like for you before your cancer diagnosis?
For sure, for sure. I was living in Australia, in Melbourne predominantly, and I was working there. And obviously, being a new migrant, you obviously want to, chiong and do whatever you can to survive and have a wonderful life. So I had 3 jobs. I was working very, very hard just to make ends meet. So life was exciting. Life was hard. Life was very tiring as well. And when I came to know about my diagnosis, I found a lump when I was having my shower. And I thought it was just hormonal, it would go away within a week, but it didn't. So I had to go and see a doctor. And doctor didn't tell me it's the big C's, told me to just go and have a mammogram and ultrasound. And I was only 49 years old then. So I did and came back to him. He didn't even tell me that it was C still, sent me to do a biopsy.
Right.
I didn't even know what biopsy was. So gingerly just went for the biopsy, and a big needle just went in and took the tissue, and had to come back to the doctor to see what is the prognosis, and he said that it's definitely cancer. So I didn't believe what he was saying, because my grandmother didn't have breast cancer. So I thought I'll get a second opinion, which I did. And this time, 2 needles went in. I could see, I was lying there. I could see the monitor. I could see everything. Anyway, the specialist told me it's definitely cancer. So I had to be operated within a month. Had the lump removed. It was 2.5 centimeter. And I remember it very clearly. And had to do 4 rounds of chemo, as well as 33 rounds of radiation. So 1 lymph node was affected on my right side. So that's why I had to go through all these procedures. So I'll come back to the second part.
Of course. So just refresh my memory. Was this done in Australia, or were you already back?
This was done in Australia, in Melbourne.
Right.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
Right.
that's okay.
How about you, Anne? How about you when take us back to your life before your diagnosis?
Yeah, so I was diagnosed I got first few symptoms in December 2024, but I didn't know it was cancer then.
Right.
So at that point in time, I was about to start my last semester of my university journey. I was really excited, had everything planned out, like, okay, I want to do an internship in my last semester, hopefully get a return offer and start my first full-time job. I was so excited, and but unfortunately things happened, and I found out I was diagnosed with leukemia. So how it happened for me was that I was on a hiking trip with my friends in Taiwan, and I realized that even though I was the youngest in the group, I was the slowest, I was the most unfit. And my friends were teasing me, like, oh, you need to exercise more. I was like, oh, maybe.
Right.
But after I came back to Singapore, I was very, very tired. Like, my legs were tired for like 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm like, something's not very right.
Very unusual.
Yeah, so I was Googling, and then they were like scaring me with all the conditions. So I actually approached my friend who studies medicine, and I said like, hey, this has been going on. Do you think it's a cause for concern? Then I think because of my age, he didn't immediately think that it was leukemia. He said maybe it's like anemia. So it's like, maybe just go to the polyclinic. They'll give you like some iron pills to swallow.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I need to swallow pills because I'm really bad at swallowing medicine. Yeah, so I went to the polyclinic fully just expecting it to be like, oh, you have anemia. Okay, I have to take my iron pills.
Yeah.
So with the doctor, they were just like, oh, your ECG looks fine. Let's just do a blood test and you can come back next week. I was like, okay, yeah. So I went to have lunch and I got a call on my phone. I picked it up and they were like, is this Anne? You need to go A&E now. And I was like, huh? What do you mean now? You need to get a blood transfusion because your hemoglobin is really low.
Right.
So it makes sense. Hemoglobin low and anemia, it links. So I was like, oh, okay, anemia, okay, low. So I went to A&E, and then they did blood tests, and I think at this point I was thinking, oh no, how do I tell my parents? Because they don't know anything that was going on at that point. So I was like, okay, I'll tell them if I have to be admitted. And they were like, oh yeah, let's do more tests. And then the doctor just came to me and said, your blood test look a bit scary. I think it's acute blood cancer. So out of the blue, just like that, I was so taken aback, and I think my world just fell apart at that point in time.
I'm so sorry to hear that, but thanks for sharing. So that sometimes we often know about this, but the people out there, they don't really know the gravity of this. When you just handled this diagnosis, would you lie in your bed when the doctor just delivered?
Yeah, I was lying on the trolley bed, and then she took me, and then I just cried. Yeah. And afterwards, I think she panicked, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Only a hematologist can really diagnose you." But the damage was already done, and it turned out to be cancer anyway. So, yeah, I think it was very devastating for me because I had so many plans, so many dreams, and everything had to be put to a stop. Yeah.
Yes. I can't even begin to imagine, right? The amount of hurt back then. Eddie, how about you?
When I was diagnosed, it was just a casual medical checkup, and it was just an image, but the image was a bit suspicious. And from the lungs diagnosis, it caught a little bit of my liver, and so I decided that I should also diagnose on my my liver. And from one cancer, it became two cancers, and from then onwards, I had to I call myself medically retired because I was actually enjoying what I'm doing. I'm in the social enterprise work, and I go into the region to help the poorer countries with the resources that we stitch up to provide for the less fortunate people in the region. But that all came to a halt, and I just couldn't carry on. I had to focus on my two cancers for the time being. While my third cancer, that was the prostate, there was something suspicious, but then because of the major organs in lungs and liver, I just had to put aside the prostate. And after which, when my lungs and liver was more stable in terms of the medical treatment, within less than a year, I had to be diagnosed with a third cancer, that's prostate. And they are all three primary cancers, and it was mind-boggling. It was just bonkers, it just confusion. But I thank God that the gift of my faith kept me sane, and I was able to have more clarity of mind to go through the diagnosis and what medical treatment is available, and to take one step at a time, day by day, in managing my cancers.
Right. Thanks, Eddie. Well, having three primary cancer, I can't imagine that, because it's like three different person having cancer, right? And it's coming onto you as one, right? So, what I wanted to ask next is tied closely to what I asked earlier on as well. I mean, right now we are still at the beginning, pre-diagnosis stage, right? So, what do you spend your free time doing, right? Maybe Linda first.
Pre-diagnosis, yes.
I mean, you were busy,
working,
with work, but what do you do on your off time?
My off time, chilling out, just resting and meeting friends, having makan sessions.
Right.
All just going out, taking a break, a stroll. Seeing the countryside, because I was living in Melbourne. So just take a drive, go somewhere. Just to chill.
Friends, or we just
Sometimes friends, sometimes by myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Eddie, how about yourself? I mean, other than social enterprise and busy traveling.
I think that took up major part of my time, actually, meeting up with friends and people, and also in terms of activities like in the church environment. I do get involved in work in the church environment, and that keep me going at the same time. In between, it's catching a cup of coffee, lim kopi, and the kind of situation. Mainly I enjoy being with friends and people that I first met and can share my life.
Sounds amazing. right? And how about yourself?
I think for me, pre-diagnosis, I was really busy with school.
School.
So I was doing like full-time school with internships on the side, and also really packed my life with many university activities.
Mm.
I think I was really like enjoying university life before the whole diagnosis happened.
What were you doing apart from, busy with your universities and your internships?
I think it actually was most of my time really was about my university life and studying. On the side, I also played in Chinese orchestra, so I guess that was a way for me to de-stress as well.
Oh, okay. What instrument do you play?
Oh, I played the luting in Chinese orchestra.
Oh,
It's similar to a pipa. Yeah.
all right. I do not claim to be a music enthusiast, so I shouldn't go deeper into that, right? But thanks for sharing that. So the next question is actually directed at Anne, right? So Anne, as a young cancer, as a young adult survivor, right? How did cancer affect the life that you thought that you were about to have?
So at that point in time, okay, maybe a bit more about myself as well. I'm someone that likes to plan out my route like very clearly. So I know like, okay, I want to do this, internship, hopefully get a return offer. So I had it all planned out. But then everything just fell apart when the cancer diagnosis hit. And I think I had to learn how to deal with living in uncertainty, because before that, everything was planned out. I had a very clear vision. But now, at that point in time when I was diagnosed, I couldn't even plan tomorrow. I don't even know what will happen. So it was really, it impacted my life quite a bit. Luckily, I was still able to graduate because in my last semester, I only had a final year project to work on. So I worked on it with my project mate. Yeah, so I think it really affected me a lot because it kind of changed the trajectory in which I wanted to like follow in life also. Yeah.
Of course. Then it's gonna tie in closely with the next question that I'm gonna ask you, right? Did you ever feel that, while you had all these plans going on, then you had your peers, right? They graduated and they moved on, right? Does it feel like everyone else is moving forward, and while yours is suddenly put to a halt, suddenly paused, right? If there's a video playing and life was just on pause.
Yes, definitely. It felt like my world stopped. My world stopped, but the rest of the world kept moving on. And with social media, I'll be lying in the hospital bed, and I'll be seeing people going to Japan, going to Korea. And at that point in time, I was during Chinese New Year period. So everybody was like, going house visiting.
Right.
But I was just stuck in the hospital alone. And I just felt, I think also with all my friends graduating, so they found like a job earlier, I felt like this sense of helplessness, like, am I being left behind? How will I be able to catch up? So I think that added to a lot of anxiety on my end.
How do you cope with this anxiety? What was the support that you had back then?
So actually, in terms of support, I would say that definitely my family was always there for me. My parents, I think I'm really grateful to them. Firstly, my dad was the one that donated his stem cells to me for my transplant. And my mom and my dad, they really came out every day without fail. So they tried their best to keep me company in the hospital. I also had friends that came around and they tried to talk to me as per normal so that I don't just keep thinking about the cancer diagnosis, which I think was really helpful because it made me feel like a sense of normalcy. And I was also in contact with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Foundation. So the social worker there, she really reached out to me and gave me a lot of support during this time.
Right. Okay. Ken, thanks Anne for that candid sharing. Linda and Eddie, right? Focus back to you. So many adults have already built their careers and routine, right? I mean, at this different life stage. How did cancer affect the life that you had already built? Right? Maybe with Eddie first on your social enterprise part.
This is really a pause.
It's really a pause for you, right?
Yeah. Well, but I attribute all my well-being in many aspects to the faith that I have built over the years, because that gave me the foundation, the anchor in my life in terms of dealing with the managing of my cancers. Because with the clarity of mind, you get less confused, you're less fearful. The fear is always there. The why question when I was diagnosed is always there, but it gets lesser and it just diminishes. So it won't overwhelm me, and that's my how I cope with it, and that I draw strength from that.
Right.
And I self-help. It's very, very important. Self-help in the sense of looking out for ways to how to manage my cancers and to get support, and to join like 365 Cancer Prevention Society. They gave me the support and the rehabilitation that I required, and the other societies out there that's available as well.
Right. Thanks. That was very heartwarming to hear about the 365 bit, right? However, I want to check with you, right? Did it change the way you thought about work, retirement, or what mattered to you, right? Like having this thing, does it change your worldview?
It didn't really, in the sense it gives me more purposeful. It gives me more meaning actually in life. My one foot is already down below. I always say that.
Yeah.
But there's still life. I'm still young. Although I'm 68, I'm still young. In fact, I was diagnosed with cancer during my birthday. The day before, I told the doctor, "Give it to me. What's my diagnosis?" And so I was confirmed with cancers, but I took it pretty well. So I was quite prepared in the sense because of what I've just shared earlier on. So in that sense, a lot of things I want to do. I just think about the bucket list. We always talk about bucket list.
Yeah.
So I had my bucket list in that sense. So I basically take things one step at a time, one day at a time, to deal with my cancer's diagnosis as it came along.
I see. Thanks for that, Eddie. Linda, how about yourself? Two-part question, right? So maybe we break it down a little bit, right? How did cancer affect the life that you had already built?
During that time when I was working, my boss, my company, they were very, very attentive and supportive during my cancer journey. Because I was driving in the city, in the countryside, I was a business development manager. So I was reaching out to my wholesale clients and, doing what I used to do. And my clients even, told me to take it easy. Don't worry, if they have any issues, they will bring up the office. So, I was kind of protected and taken care in a way. Though it happened during May, that was winter time, I lost my hair and I had to wear scarf or beanie or hats, which I love it. It's very fashionable, you see. So I drive around and then meet my clients. And then that year, 2010, at the end of the year, they had what they call a recognition for regional countries like Victoria and Tasmania. So I was voted the number one.
Wow.
Not for just my company, for the region.
Wow.
So I was competing with Unilever, places like that, companies like that. So my company was appreciated. And from there on, they even went further by participating in other competition.
Wow, good job.
So so it gave me a sense of pride, gave me a sense of, it's, you can still do it, although you are a cancer survivor. So I soldier on. When cancer happened to me, when I had my first chemo on a Monday, at the end of the week, by Friday, that first chemo treatment really shook me because chemo really affected the whole body from top to bottom. And the drug that they gave me, I felt jabs, knives poking into my body, through the tissue, through the bones. You feel horrible and you feel very painful. I was in bed for 3 days. I couldn't move. So that really shook my whole system. And anyway, I got out of it and I told myself, because I have my faith in God, and praise the Lord that He kept me in peace and comfort. That he gave me the strength to soldier on. So during that 4 chemo sessions, although I had different symptoms, whether rashes or nausea or cold, flu, whatever, He protected me. So I told myself I will overcome it, no matter what it is. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So being in the thick of it, right? Well, you were describing your career just now, right?
Yes.
How did this change the way you thought about work, retirement, or what mattered to you?
Sure. I was still loving my job. I love working and achieving results because that's my nature, I guess. Yeah. So I didn't want to give up, and so much so that the company even posted me to Sydney to work for a year.
Wow.
And after a year, they wanted, because I told them I had to go back to Singapore. My parents, especially my mother, told me to come home to look after them because they were aging. They were in their 70s then. So I went back. They told me to help them start off a Singapore branch.
Right.
Yeah, so I did that for a year because at that time, Singapore market wasn't ready for the products anyway. So I thought, God has opened all the doors for me. And maybe time to take one step back, because what happened was I had my second stage. 7 years later, I had cancer again on the left-hand side of my breast. And this time, they found shadows or little spots on the mammogram. So when my surgeon told me, you have to remove it since you had the first case. So when he took it out, he happened to cut a 0.05 millimeter tumor, which cannot be seen on a mammogram or ultrasound. So thank goodness that was removed. And by detecting that, I had to come back to remove that tumor. And for precaution's sake, he removed 3 lymph nodes.
Right.
And none of the lymph nodes were affected. So it was stage 1. The first time it happened was there was 1 lymph node that was affected, and that was stage 2, 3. That's what he said.
Right.
A different surgeon. One was in Melbourne. The second round was in Sydney.
I see.
Yes.
Thanks, Linda.
So yeah, I think a group of friends, because I was away from home when it happened the second time. Group of friends from church came to visit me and comforted me and brought me back home, which was very nice. I thought, it's that little bit of care that goes a long way.
The support is very.
The support is very important. That's right. That you're not, like you said, you're not traveling alone.
Right.
Yeah,
Of course.
you're not walking alone in this journey.
That's right. And thanks, Linda. And of course, thanks the 3 of you, right? Cancer really doesn't just affect the body, right? It interrupts momentum, plans, and certainty. The details may differ, right? Depending on the life stage, right? But the feeling of having your life suddenly change course seems to be something that many survivors understand, right? When your life is put on pause. So the next part that I'm gonna check in with you is, cancer changes a lot of things. Not just our body, right? But sometimes it can also reveal things about ourselves that we never expected, right? So what is something surprising or interesting that you discovered about yourself during this cancer journey? Maybe we start with Anne first.
I think for me, like I said, I'm someone that likes to plan everything out and all, right? And I was very on, like I was hustling everywhere. But I think after I got diagnosed with cancer, having to sit in a hospital bed for I think my first admission, it was 94 days consecutively. I didn't even get to go home. So you have a lot of time to think, right? And also realize, I think for me, what was unexpected is that I guess I realized what I really wanted to prioritize in life. So right now for career, I think if you ask the old me, oh my God, Chong, I must get this, I must get that. Now it's more like, what's important is that I'm healthy, I'm alive, and also to spend time with my loved ones. So I think that's something unexpected that I discovered with myself, that actually, I would like to prioritize this more. So that's what I'm thinking and doing nowadays as well.
Right. So there's a shift in your priorities,
Yes.
right? That came unexpected through this diagnosis, right? Eddie, what do you feel about this question?
I feel that I'm a walking miracle,
right?
Because I never expect myself to hang on to 9 years actually, because doctors and people who knows about my condition who says that you are really a miracle, because it's 9 years with lungs and liver as 2 major organs, and I'm still around. So I think it's only goes to tell me that there's a purpose in life, that I'm around for a purpose.
Right.
So I found myself actually bouncing back every time when I'm down in the hospital bed. And I'm able actually to go through what I'm struggling with, the pain, the diagnosis, the treatments. And I think there are occasions where I get the opportunity to share with cancer patients that I journey with, because I'm a volunteer as well with Singapore Cancer Society as well as with
Of
365.
course.
And I share my journey with them to give them that strength and hope. I don't tell them what to do.
Mhm.
I tell them my journey to give them that strength and that hope.
Right.
That they still can also be likewise, take on challenges and still be well at the end of the day.
So that they can be a bit more prepared.
Yes.
Okay, I see. Were they usually newly diagnosed?
Yeah, most of them are newly diagnosed. In fact, it's unfortunate. I'm meeting up with younger patients actually. There are even recently I met a guy who's not even 21.
Wow.
Who's going to turn 21. Yeah, so it's very, for me at my age and for him at a young age, I just cannot compare, you know. It's very difficult for me to tell him what's life, you know, when he's just beginning and mine is at the tail end. So I got to find ways how I can reach out to him. So it's a challenge for me to find how I can be of good use to be able to help them along their journey, you know, when they face the treatments.
That's very encouraging, right? Linda, how about yourself? What is something unexpected or interesting that you found out about yourself? I mean, during this cancer journey.
I realized that I have a lot of patience. That's what people tell me. I try not to condemn people, but you know, and just look at the positive side of the person, and just encourage. So currently, I'm also serving in the church. I'm in the elder care and also cancer care. So how I put myself forward is to share my testimony and to encourage them to live a good life, you know, no matter what happens now, because, you know, what has happened, you cannot change, right? So you just have to move forward.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. And I enjoy going to mission trip too.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where are you planning to go next? Or have you went?
Have I
Recent
been?
ones? Or the past one? That
The past one is Myanmar,
Alright.
Philippines,
Right.
yeah, Malaysia,
Okay.
Indonesia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's so many places in the world to plant a seed.
Of course.
Yes.
Thank you for the good work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Right. So the next question really brings forward the Singaporean in us, right? About food. So was there any food that you didn't like, but could somehow tolerate it during your treatment, or you know, something that you love but could not tolerate it during treatment? Right? Maybe Eddie first.
I'm a food person. So my recent 2-3 months has been a lot of in and out in hospital.
Yeah.
And the hospital food was just July, you know. And I just couldn't take it. And yeah, I just had to have my wife coming along and some of my good friends to my food kaki and you know, bring some food along to just whet my appetite. Lucky thing that I can eat. So that's why I'm always bouncing back. You know? Well, again, after treatment. And yeah, so that's one thing in life and food that I will never miss. That I remember one time when I got out of the discharge, I was on my own, so I could go wherever I want. So the first thing I went was to eat char kway teow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think for me, just my condition, I think that sometimes food brings good vibes into your whole body system. Although it may not be so healthy, but I think the mental part of it gives you that energy that you enjoy, the dopamine that you have and all that.
Of course.
I think it brings out the good energy in you.
Yes.
So sometimes just give yourself a treat. And that's what I do. Just don't make it too often.
I think everything in moderation.
In a way.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Thanks, Eddie. And how about yourself?
Well, talking about food, there were a lot of restrictions of things that I couldn't eat because I had to follow the neutral clinic diet.
Okay.
So it means I have to eat very clean, must be fully cooked, and that meant that I cannot eat things like sushi. I cannot eat like like the ramen, runny eggs, and those are the things that I really like. And up till now, I still have not eaten it yet. So I'm really looking forward to the day that I can eat it again.
Okay.
Yeah, but during my treatment itself, because of the chemo, I was very nauseous. I didn't have much appetite, and yeah, I grew sick of the hospital food as well because I stayed for 94 days, right? So the menu repeats. I've seen it repeat like 3 or 4 times already.
Right.
Yeah, so luckily my parents would buy food from outside, or my mom would cook. So yeah, I think I also had a few food aversions as well because I think it was like the eve of Chinese New Year. I was so sad, like everybody eating reunion dinner. Then I'm in the hospital. The hospital prepared a special meal actually. It was this clay pot chicken rice. I was so excited, and I had chemo that day. But I was, oh my god! Then I ate it. I gobbled it all down. But the next day, it was very nauseous, and now I am very scared to eat clay pot chicken rice. Yeah, so I think food. There are definitely like food that I want to eat, but there's also food that I avoid now because it reminds me a lot of the time then.
Right. So it's very subjective, right? Sometimes it's unexpected as well, right?
Yeah.
Something like the clay pot chicken, it sounds amazing. Very thoughtful of the hospital to do that as well, but unfortunately, it caused you some some aversion to it now. Right?
Yes.
Okay, will you want to try it again in time to come?
Maybe in small portions. If I did.
Great, thanks. Linda, how about yourself?
I love food as well, all
Right.
kinds of food.
Right.
So I have no complaints actually. I don't have any setbacks or whatever. I just, because in Australia, they say just eat. Doctors
Just
would
eat.
encourage you, just eat anything you want. Yeah, there's no restriction as such.
So what's your favorite food?
Ooh,
If you can just
a lot. The first thing that comes in mind is laksa.
Laksa. Wow.
Mm.
Okay. And laksa, char kway teow,
Char-kway-teow.
sushi, ramen.
Sushi, yeah, but I really like laksa as well.
Yeah.
We should get together for a food trip.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So, next question that I'm going to ask is something to do with our relationships, right? Relationships is usually the core of social bonding, right? It becomes one of our biggest sources of strength for many cancer survivors, but it's also one of the biggest area of change, right? So, Anne, who were the people that you found yourself leaning on the most during your cancer journey?
I think for me, it's definitely my parents. Like I said, they really came every day, and I think they also try to put on a brave, like, strong face for me, so that I wouldn't feel so helpless about the situation. So I would say it's my family, and I think I got a lot closer to them during the treatment period because I was very busy with university, right? So in a sense, like this pause also gave me a chance to really bond with my parents a bit more. With friends as well, I think in a way, cancer also has a way of helping you to filter out who are the friends that will stay through the tough journey and those that will silently disappear. So you will be surprised actually. Some people you think they will be there, they're not there. Some people you think won't be there, they're there. So in a sense, I guess now I know like who I can really count on when like it really matters.
I thank you for sharing that because I think it resonated with one of the stories that my client shared with me, right? It was an older client, right? The client mentioned that used to have friends that would come to visit her all the time. But after, her diagnosis, they start to disappear because they were afraid that they're going to borrow money from her, which is not true, by the way, right? So I think there could be all these kind of things that may surface up, right? So maybe I'd like to shift that question to Eddie. Do you resonate with what?
Yes,
what
certainly.
Ben shared?
Certainly, I mean, there are people that you know for many years, suddenly they kind of silence, Yeah, so I do experience that. But I'll give it also a bit of benefit of the doubt because they may not know how to relate with you. So I try not to get disappointed. The word is actually disappointed for me. So I try not to get disappointed in them because some of them, 20 years, long time friends, But I also have very good friends that are still there, they're always with you. And community of friends that prays for you and gives you encouragement. And that's just very important for me. And that really keeps me going. My wife is, of course, my superwoman.
Wow.
She does everything at home. Everything, whenever in hospital, she will be there. my daughter. I only one daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and she's always there when I needed her. And major decisions that when we have to see the oncologist, they will be there.
Mm.
So I get good support from my family at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And in all, I think maybe that's attributed to how I handled my cancer journey.
Right.
I was able to handle it pretty calm, and that's because of my faith that gives me that calmness in dealing with it. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Eddie. Right. Linda, how about yourself?
I think when I was in Australia, obviously I was all by myself, right? So my parents were back in Singapore, so I didn't tell them that I had the cancer, and so I didn't want them to worry from such a long distance. So my only close friends, work friends, or church friends, they are the ones that came around, and I totally agree with both parties here that friends will come and friends will go. It's like a season
Mm-hmm.
in the sun. There's a song. Yes, sure. I mean, we must also give them some grace because they have their own family, their own life, their career, and obviously they can't spend too much time with you individually.
Mm-hmm.
So probably we appreciate their kind thoughts and words. I think that's more than sufficient because and at the end of the day, cancer is upon us and it's up to us to handle it ourselves because we are the one that is suffering. And do we want to continue suffering? I don't think so. We want to get out of that state of suffering and come out being happy.
Of course.
Yeah.
The resilience part of it, right?
That's right.
Thanks for that, Linda. Right. So, Anne, back to you. Right. So, did cancer change the way you view relationships or dating?
Actually, I was in a relationship with someone when I was diagnosed.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out lah. So I think it did kind of shake how I build relationships, especially if someone can stay with you to cancer, but then later on. Yeah. So I think with regards to dating, I'm a bit like hesitant now, a bit like in the sense like confidence is also a bit lower. I think it also ties in with things like body image. So previously I had like long straight hair, but now my hair it grew out. It's like it's short, it's curly, and it's gonna take a while to grow out lah. And also I'm also starting my first full-time job in my life. So I think right now I'll prioritize like my career and rebuilding my life first before I think about dating again.
I'm rooting for you, Anne.
Thank you.
Right.
Yes.
So have you really changed? I mean, you share a little bit about this part, right? But just to pull on that thread a little more, what do you value most in a relationship now? If you have to name a quality or
I feel like what's very important to me in relationships now is that I think the friends that were really there for me during my cancer journey, they have a special place in my heart right now because I think I feel like, like love languages. My love language is acts of service. So I think they were really like helpful for me. They come to the hospital, they bring me stuff that I need. And I really appreciate the friends that tried to give me a sense of normalcy as well. So I would say, I think what's most important to me is that like the sincerity of the friendship as well and the commitment. Yeah.
Sincerity, right? Being there for you when you most needed them.
And also friends that are sensitive.
Right.
Because I think sometimes people don't really know how to deal with talking to someone who has a cancer diagnosis, and sometimes there are things that are said that are quite insensitive. So I value the friends that are more sensitive and a bit more like tactful with what they say.
I see. Right. So just building on this question, which I think is very relevant, maybe for our viewers out there who may not have experience with cancer or do not know of anyone with cancer, what is the best way to approach someone and give that kind of comfort, or even begin talking with someone with cancer? We don't want to walk around eggshells. We don't. Hey, if I say this, will I offend this person? What is the best way to go about this? Maybe we start with Anne first, just to build on what she shared.
I think firstly, what's most like impactful for me is like I think it's best not to like anyhow say like, oh, maybe you're cancer because of this, because of that. You eat this, you eat that. I had a friend that, rightfully I was very busy with my internships in school.
Right.
But when I got a diagnosis, she was like, yeah, cancer, it's just your body asking you to take your break. Then I was like, take a break? Like, if it was the flu, then okay lah, like I felt sick, you know. But then it's cancer, you know.
Right.
So I felt very hurt by that comment. And also friends that not just friends, but sometimes relatives also. I understand that it's all well-meaning, but
Correct.
sometimes as a person, like I definitely have questioned myself, like, oh, why me? Like, what happened? What did I do wrong? Or to have someone say like, see how you eat so much McDonald's, that kind of thing. So I think what's important is to validate the patient's feelings and also like assure them that you'll be there. Like you don't sometimes being there is just enough. Yeah, if you're scared, you say the wrong thing, just be there.
I see.
If the example somewhere on the bed, it's very hard to get up. I need water. You help me take water. I already feel very loved and cherished at that point. Rather than you say like, oh, see lah, oh, you should eat this vegetable, you'll cure your cancer. I'm like, it doesn't work that way.
Right. Thanks for sharing that. And I think Linda and Eddie also resonated with what you shared, where they are raring to go with their comments as well. So maybe Linda, you first.
I think personally, if you do not know what to say, the best thing is to say, what can I do for you? Yeah, a simple question. And they can say, give me a glass of water, or could you bring my phone? Could you just answer this question for me, reply my message? Anything of that sort, really. Just ask a general open-ended question just to get some feedback, because sometimes you know the person, sometimes you don't. And also when somebody is going through that journey, they are all confused. Why has it happened to me? Why me?
Right.
Yeah. So I think you're there physically to support them emotionally and to give them encouragement. The lesser you say, the better, not to hurt the person indirectly. Not that you intentionally, but when you are insensible or you just slip off the tongue and say the wrong thing, it hurts the person, and which damages the relationship. But once again, we shouldn't be too oversensitive as well, because we are in this side of the world and they are on the other side, so we must understand each other. I think that's important.
I think
Give
it
and
happens to the
take.
best of
Yeah.
us, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's a learning journey.
Yes.
And so long they are sincere about it, right? They want more actions, less words.
Yes.
So I think this is something that our viewers can take away today, right? So Eddie, how about yourself in regards to this question?
I think most people who discover that you have cancer, they always think about the worst that can happen. It's the end. But I always tell them, before they could tell me, I say it's not the end. I will tell them that cancer is the beginning of a new life. And that's after walking these 9 years. It doesn't come immediately. But I think it's really true. You can look at cancer as a new life, And I think most people send you messages that they meant well. And we just take it as it is. And I think what I treasure is the sincerity that Anne mentioned. I think that's the most important. And you don't have to say anything. Just being there and what can I do for you? That's sufficient. I think I can feel the sincerity of the person when they approach me, or they give me a call or send me a message, And so this is the little things that friends can do a lot for their friends who are diagnosed with cancer. Very important is that don't have this mentality of thinking that's the end. Yes, it may be true. Doctors may have the diagnosis statistics based on 3 months, 6 months, but I'm sure everyone knows there are people who live beyond the 6 months to 10 years, 5 years. So it's important that we try to give that person hope. So being a cancer patient myself, being an advocate and a volunteer, I try to share hope with whoever is going through the same journey as me. And I have that authority to say a bit louder because I'm also going through it. So that helps a lot.
Right. I think sometimes most of us are just uncomfortable in the silence. We try to feel that silence, and sometimes it really, like what Linda says, slip of the tongue. We didn't really need it that way, right? But I think it's something that we can all learn together, right? And how do we better converse with a person suffering with cancer, right? But so thanks for sharing that. So cancer can often change, not just how we feel, right? But also how we see ourselves, right? For Linda, Eddie and I'm sure you all went through this,
Mm.
right? Linda with your hair loss and everything, right? So perhaps you can maybe start with Linda, start with you first, right? Many survivors say that they come to see their own bodies a bit differently, right? After treatment. Was that true for you?
Seeing my body, obviously, if you lost your hair, being bald because I had to shave off. Because when I came back after the first chemo, I actually went to the hair salon and look at some wigs. You see, I did buy wig to prepare myself. And when I was seated down, I realized that when she combed, the hair came out. It was so fast. I mean, I went home and I was combing my hair and it came out in a lump. So I told my hair was very patchy. So I told myself I'll shave it off. And I was bald, yes, of course. So that was one first sign. And second sign of it, obviously, like this morning, I look at myself, I can see my scars it's still predominantly there, even it's 16 years old. So sad to say, because they were done by two specialists. The one on the right was an older specialist, and the boob was lower, and the one on the left was a younger specialist, so it was higher. So I look at it, it's imbalanced. So, but anyway, it's covered. No one's going to see it. It's only for myself. So it's okay. Yeah, life goes on. As long as I have happy, healthy, outlook in life, and nothing's going to stop me.
I see.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that so candidly and something so intimate with us, right? What helps make you feel more of yourself again, right?
Okay, I think it's predominantly my positivity in life, because nothing is going to stop me from falling. Even if I fall, I must pick myself up and soldier on, and just keep going, no matter what it is. And because life for me is worth living. You don't just stop there. I know our time is limited here. It's a short journey, but let's make the most of it. That's my thoughts and my motto. Life is worth living, and live it to the fullest in happiness and health. Yeah, so my slogan. So anyway, just every day you wake up, you're glad you're breathing, and you can see the sunshine and the bird chirping, and that is more than enough.
The small things in life, that we
Absolutely.
often take for granted.
Yes, exactly. I mean, before I used to chiong, but now I just take it easy. If you want to scold me, scold me. You want to run away, fine, it's okay. Don't take it too hard. I think our emotional status needs to be also controlled, no matter what it is, because it is our life and our hope in ourselves, in our survival for the however long we have here on earth.
Correct. Thanks, Linda. And how about yourself?
With regards to body image.
With regards to the body image, and how do you see your body differently, right, after treatment, right? What was that true for you first?
I think, yeah, definitely. So, like I said earlier, I used to have like long straight hair, and I actually didn't. Okay, so I did chemotherapy consecutively, but my hair held on. Like it fell, but it fell out like in stages. So I only shaved it off, like I started in January. I only shaved it off like maybe August.
Right.
Because it was just slowly thinning and thinning. And I think like I wasn't able to do the direct shave because I would get a really big shock seeing myself like bald. So I was very grateful to my parents also. They were very understanding because the hair would drop on the bed, right? They really have to pick it up every time. And they let me like slowly process like my hair, like losing my hair. And I think because I saw it drop bit by bit, by the time I was actually like botak, I was like, oh, okay, all right. So I had enough time to process. But definitely it hurt me because when I go out, then I will worry, and like I also thought about wearing wigs. I did wear a wig and I wore it to the interview, and it shifted during the interview. So ever since then, I've been a bit worried about wearing wigs already. And that's why I kind of decided to just grow my hair out. So growing my hair out is also a very painful process because for it to reach the original length, which is here, it's going to take a while. And my hair used to be straight. now it's curly. So this morning, actually, I had to spend 45 minutes blow drying, putting product. When normally in the past, I just wake up, comb, okay, done. So there's a lot to adapt and change. And I would say that, yeah, I'm still feeling quite insecure about it because I'm starting my first job, right? And then like, I'm very worried about impressions. And it's the first time I'm like, how to say, like debuting this look out to the world, like hard launching it. So I think I still have concerns with it. But at the same time, I think at this point, I'm also just very grateful that at least my hair grew out and I'm alive and I'm healthy.
Right. It's gonna be a beautiful journey, right?
Definitely.
Back to where it was. So between this interim, what helped you feel more like yourself?
What made me feel more like myself? I feel like a lot of it is actually my friends because so nowadays I used to wear a cap and then to meet my friends because then they know like my hair and all right. But recently I've been deciding to, I'll take a brave first step. I will take off my cap and then like I'll try to style. Then before I meet my friends, I'll be like, hey, today I'm not wearing cap. Please don't bully me about my hair. And they are very nice about it. And in fact, I met one of my friends and he was like, don't worry, just new fashion style, slay. Then I was like, okay, I feel better about it. And when I talked to him, I could tell that like, sometimes you can tell when someone is like staring at a certain part of it or like your face and all. I could tell that he was just 100% just committed to the conversation and that he was talking to me as if I was the same person as before. So I think that made me feel a bit more confident and made me feel more like myself and also give me the encouragement as well.
You also help to analyze the situation.
Yes.
That you're in. Right. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Eddie, how about yourself? Hair aside.
You read my mind. I was hoping that chemo and all those treatment give me a new hairdo. I never did. But my latest situation is I've lost a bit of weight,
Right.
which I get. It's not unhealthy weight loss, but it's because of all the that I'm going through. I've lost a bit of weight, so I'm happy about it, and I hope I won't lose too much weight.
I see.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's being happy. Yeah, it's being happy.
Right.
Whatever it is, self-image and all that. Yeah, it's important, but we can overcome it with, I've known someone who is a hairstylist. I can introduce that to him as well, because he journeys with cancer patients, especially children. So he's very specialized in this. So if you're interested, I can share that with you.
Do you get special discounts?
I think you heard of Fashion for Cancer? Fashion for Cancer.
Okay.
Last year I was participating in it. This year they have another session going on in August.
Right.
So Fashion for Cancer is also trying to give that boom to the cancer patients to walk the runway. So imagine last year I was asked to walk the runway, a big buffalo like me walking the runway. I can't imagine, but I think it gives me a bit of confidence that, hey, I can do it.
Right.
So it gives that self-image and the positiveness in my journey.
Yes. Thanks, Eddie, for sharing that. Right. I just want to conclude this section on body image, right? That it doesn't just affect the younger generation, isn't it? But illness change the way individual relates to their body, regardless of age or life stage. And perhaps one of the greatest lessons for survivorship is that it teaches us appreciation and everything that our bodies can do, right? Wonderful things. So I think many cancer survivors eventually realize that one of the challenge comes with cancer diagnosis is also the feeling of being misunderstood, right? So for Anne, right, people often don't know what to say to someone going through cancer. We touched a little bit about that earlier on, but what were those conversations like for you when, they misunderstand or, when they don't know what to say? What was it like for you?
I think they're all said in like with good intentions in the sense they're trying to like sometimes what they say are trying to relate to you that, oh, I know you must suck. Then I'm like, you don't know. And I think for me, most of the times when like the comments are said, firstly I'm hurt. Secondly, I'm most of the time I'm just stunned. So I don't really like talk about it or call them out on it because I find it very awkward on my end as well. Yeah.
Okay. Linda, how about you?
Whatever has been said is said, because what is said you cannot bring back, right? You cannot swallow back.
Yeah.
the tongue is a two-edged sword, so we got to be watchful. I mean, vice versa. What we say to them or they say to us. So forgive. I think that is important.
Okay. Eddie?
Similar, I think, because they will say, "Oh, I know how you feel." Yeah. But I'm glad, but not many of my friends does that. But
Right.
these are some of the common things that I hear. So I normally, whatever they say, if it's kind of I take offense, but I just ignore it and say it's okay. Just pass by.
I see. Right. So I think one of the common mistake, that I also faced during my career here as well is to, we always want to quickly establish a rapport. I understand, but do we really understand? Right. I think there are other words that we can use to bring that out. Right. So what is something that we can say to empathize that situation with you? Maybe Ed?
I think when my friends or my family tell me that we'll be with you every step of this journey. Okay, as much as technically this thing is for myself to survive, I have to go through this journey. If I do biopsy, chemotherapy, I have to do it alone lah.
Yes.
But them saying that they'll be with me on this journey and following through with it, I think following through is very important. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'll be there," then they disappear. But those that say, "Oh, I'll be there," and they really check in with you, I think that is the best gift that my friends gave me.
Right.
Yeah. So just really following up on your actions as well and doing frequent check-ins, because I think something that I've heard a lot of young adults saying is that at the start when you get diagnosed, everybody gives you attention, or then after a while they disappear. And even for me, as much as I'm in remission now, the fear of recurrence or relapse always there. But then I think my friends are "Oh, it's over already." Then I'm like, it's not over. I'm still scared that it might come back. And there are still side effects of the cancer treatment that many people don't see. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure because they are not exposed to this, so they would think that it's like a flu, like something that once it's over, oh, congratulations, you have done everything, so let's move on, right? But I don't think it's as simple as moving on, right? It's really learning to live with that cancer and having all this fear that it may reoccur and all dealing with all these side effects. It's really a long journey to come, right? So I really hope for your friends to persevere through this journey together with you as well. I think it's very heartwarming that some of your friends have pulled through, have went ahead to do that for you, right? Eddie and Linda, how about yourself? Maybe Eddie first.
I feel that I can do something for my friends, to educate them basically. For example, remission. Why don't the doctor say it as a cure? They don't use the word cure. They use the word remission. Basically meaning that it may come back to haunt you. So, but it's not the end, as I mentioned earlier on. So for me, it's that even 9 years, many people think that I'm already in remission. I say I'm still receiving immunotherapy for my liver. I'm still dealing with very severe side effects for my radiation side effects. So I try to educate them in a sense, and so in ways that I can share, do my part, just to educate my friends about it and share. I'm an old economy, so I use Facebook for all my sharings and to uplift and to give hope and to share my journey is found in my Facebook.
I see. Right. But Linda, yourself.
I think really it's a learning process. They have to be in your shoe in order to understand what that cancer journey is all about. If not, it would be just superficial.
Right.
Yeah. Or just go and volunteer with any cancer society just to interact with cancer patient and really go through that journey with them. And I think they would appreciate a lot more.
Right.
Yeah, rather than putting words, blatantly out there. Yeah, it's not going to be encouraging, but it's supposed to be more encouraging if you're going to spend time with that cancer survivor or patient. Yeah, walk the journey.
Because I think there's a lot of invisible things that they don't see
Mm.
the medical checkups,
That's
the,
right.
the waiting for the result, the next appointment, that kind of thing, the scans, all these things that you all have to go through,
Yes.
traveling to the hospital. So I think all these things is something that
Behind the scene.
behind the scene that they may not be privy to. So like what Eddie has shared, maybe is some sharing, some education could do wonders in this area, right? So the next thing I wanted to ask is also a bit related to this is often having this experience, it can take a while to process it, and coming to a point that you are ready to share all this, right, with the public, like this setting, and with other people as well, right? How open do you feel about sharing, or rather, how long did it take for you to get to this stage to be comfortable to share? Right? Maybe we start with Anne first.
I think for me, when I first got diagnosed, I was more selective in who I told. Actually, I would say that I told it in phases. So like the phase 1, I tell these people, then phase 2, then eventually, I think more or less I'm okay with people knowing, but I don't like go out and like advertise, oh, I have leukemia. Like, I don't really do that. It's like if chance upon and they ask, yeah, I will tell. But I'll have to be honest and say that like, now with my new look, when I see people, especially acquaintances that I don't really know, but they like we just say hi bye, I'm a bit stunned, a bit confused. I don't know how to approach the situation. Like, should I say like, hi, I'm Anne? Because they can't recognize me. I've tried it. Like I walk past people and they don't realize it's me. So yeah, I think that's a struggle for me currently. I don't know what to do. I'm still thinking and trying it out in phases also. So yeah, but in terms of how open I am, I think now I'm pretty open, and I would like to share about my journey as well. Even on TikTok, when I see like other Singaporean cancer patients, especially if like they're around my age, I will reach out to them. I will leave a comment, say I sent you a DM. I also went through cancer last talk. So I think it really helps having someone there to like talk you through, tell you, oh, I also did this chemo, what are the side effects, what worked for me. It was very helpful, and I kind of wish that I had someone like that when I was diagnosed and when I was in the hospital most of the time.
Thanks, and I appreciate the forthcomingness and of course the self-awareness about what currently you're struggling with and how you plan to tackle it. I think this is very fresh insight for me as well, right? Eddie, what do you think? How long did it take for you to process this and to be able to share this stage that you're currently at?
I would say I'm so blessed that my first year of treatment, I sought help. I sought help from 365, CPS. I sought help from SCS, and they all gave me that avenue where I can get my rehab and to get my well-being, in such that I really appreciate what they have provided for me. So when they approached me as early as 2018 and 2019, I just say yes, because I want to give back to what was provided for me to help others, that they can be helped, and that there's hope in whatever situations you are in, and you can get help from all these societies out there that can help us. Yes, so I feel very much like Anne, in the sense that right now, even when someone calls me, Eddie, there's someone who has this illness, liver cancer and stage 4, can you reach out to them? I say yes, provided they're open, and I will just give them a call or text them, and as much as they share, I will just share as equivalent amount that they are comfortable with, and to help them along in their journey.
And I'm sure they appreciate it, right? Like what Anne shared earlier on. If she was diagnosed back then, and there is this anchor, right? I think it's appreciative. Linda, how about yourself?
When I was told that I had cancer, the first thing I said, I prayed to God. God, give me a second chance, so I can live this life to the fullest. So He did, and my request to Him was, let me be a living witness and a testimony.
Right.
And I have no hesitation in sharing my story. So anytime. So that's why it wasn't built up. It was, I tell it as it is, how raw it is. That's how it is.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you. And I really want to take this opportunity during this session to really thank the three of you for coming forward. It's not really just a passing remark to say this, because every time you share, it may open up some raw nerves. It may open up some feelings that you have kept it away for some time, right? So the stories that you shared, the comments that you have mentioned, I'm sure somewhere out there, someone who is watching this session, could it be live, could be, you know, in time to come, hopefully impact them in a very profound way, right? They can seek encouragement, or, you know, some from the testimonies that you have shared, right? So really thank you for doing that. So with regards to encouragement and words, right, I really wanted to check in with the three of you, right? So looking back in your entirety of your cancer journey, what kind of support or words of encouragement that really, you know, stick with you, impacted you, resonated with you, right? Maybe we start with Anne.
I think okay, so at the time this like encouragement was told to me by like the doctors and the nurses. They were like, take it day by day. And at the point in time, I really hated hearing that statement. I was like, day by day, my day sucks. Yeah, but the thing is, now looking back in hindsight, it makes sense. Because at that point, everything was very uncertain. And sometimes if day by day is too much, hour by hour also works. And yeah, I think I really disliked hearing it at the start. But now looking back, I think there were times where I leaned on that like encouragement, because okay, I just need to, the road ahead is like a marathon, but I just need to get through today. I have about, see, today I get through today, tomorrow's problem is tomorrow's problem. Then I'll think about it tomorrow. So I would say that as much as I didn't like hearing it then, I would say that it is a useful phrase and it's something to keep you anchored and going.
I see. I think this is very true for, you know, with or without this illness. I think this old adage, this, you know, take it one day at a time, one step at a time. I think this goes a long way, right? It's not a sprint, right? It's a marathon, right? Go slow, right? Eddie, what do you feel about this part?
My journey is a roller coaster. It's still in a roller coaster.
Yes.
Yeah. So I try to enjoy that roller coaster ride, ups and downs. In such, I tell you a joke. Hospital bed, I was lying there behind this plug where they write diet and all that.
Correct.
So one day I woke up, I saw behind regular. And this last 2 months, I've been going in and out of hospital. I say, hey, that's regular. That means, am I a regular visitor? I say, you turn that into points for frequent flyers.
Wow.
Solitaire. Unfortunately, that's not the case. But anyway, the joke aside, yeah, that's how I live my cancer. Try to laugh it out and you know, try to be more positive. And I think it's important that I lost my train of thoughts now.
It's all right. I think maybe just to catch you where you left off, I think from what my clients have shared with me as well, I think, you know, laughter is usually one of the best medicine, right? Because it intrinsically, you know, push off good vibes from inside, right? So I think I really appreciate your sense of humor, Andy, right? Coming from your journey.